The thing about cinema, though, is the weakness that nobody seems to acknowledge is in its reliance on technology.
Hmm,
If the power goes out, you get no cinema.
that is true.
And it don't matter if you have it on a Blu-ray disc or if you have a film print, if you have
Ah,
a server with a file on it locally there. Without electricity, without a working grid, without the right equipment, you can't digest it. With a
hmm.
book, with literature, you got to know the language. You don't have to
Yeah.
know the language of music to feel it. You don't have to
Well,
have electricity, you know.
it's like but that is part of what's making me sad because it's like all across America the last 10 years, like pianos are just getting dumped, and they're not being maintained. And even in my line of work, I always
Pianos.
prefer, yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to get rid of this antique piano to somebody who will actually restore it, and nobody
Yeah.
wants it.
You
And I don't know
can't
what
give
to do
this
with it.
stuff away. You can't give it away. And it's so sad to me because, I think the way like some guys or people feel about cars, I feel about pianos. Like they're all valuable to me and I want them to last as long as they can last. And, back that's one of those things that I would have loved to be a musician in New York in like the 80s. Because I think back then, maybe even probably the 70s even, you had
Mm.
beautiful pianos and a lot of restaurants. You had decent paid gigs there playing music for people. You had audiences that actually appreciated that and wanted that. And I miss that. And I don't know where we're headed, but I mean, that's one of the reasons why I want to make sure that I'm have a piano nearby. And I've almost been about to throw out all of my sheet music because I've been in transition a lot and I've over the years collected so much sheet music. But I don't use it anymore, honestly. I'm on my iPad. I make digital charts. It's so much easier going to gigs, just have it all right
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
So I just was having to make this decision like, do I get, first of all, I can't give them away. Nobody wants the books. And then it's like, well, what if the power does go out? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I kind of want a piano and a candlelight and those books, and I'll be just fine?
That's why
So,
I print out all of my guitar notations and I put them in a binder just in case. I don't trust the grid.
I don't really
I
either.
want
I
access
don't
to
either.
everything. And then I also make hard copies of all my screenplays, of all my um, anything I write.
Because you could always take it to like a play form
Yeah.
if you needed to. You could go back to old school theater, I guess, but it's not the same because that's one of the things I do. I personally do actually really love cinema. And I think at my heart of hearts, I came to music because of this idea when the music is perfectly melded with the visuals. To me, it's like I just blow open with joy. Like it's so amazing. And I've Fish concerts. That's why I was super into Fish because their lighting guy was so incredible that the visuals with the music was out of this world. But I haven't, ever since I went to Europe and studied jazz, and really they don't have jam bands over there, at least in the scenes I was. I kind of fell out of the jam band scene, even though essentially that was what made me get into music and the improvisation and the matching of the lights. And it was just out of this world. But when I watch visuals, beautiful visuals, or interesting visuals that are perfectly matched with the music that goes with it, for me, that's it. I mean, that's just, and you can't necessarily do that with a play. Like, it's not the same. I've seen a lot of plays, but
Mm.
it's not the same.